I was a successful underground fraudster at the age of 13. I was watching one of the Smosh Reddit Stories episodes, the chaotic episode, and someone confessed on here to faking being sick to get out of going to school. And while I never did that, it triggered another memory. When I was about 12 or 13 in the late 00s, before I knew what I was doing, I would often use a sickness I had a few years prior to get out of PE class, and my mum would just believe me and send me to school with an excuse note, and I'd be able to get out of class. But one day she didn't sign a note, and I really didn't want to do the activity that day, so I forged my mum's signature. I traced it and practiced it over and over again until eventually I had something that could pass for her handwriting. It worked. My mum was none the wiser, and so I did it again. I didn't abuse my power too much because I knew the teacher would get suspicious and call my mum, and I'd get in trouble, and I really didn't want to. So I would participate in class more often than not, and only use my newfound power as a last resort. Because of this and the fact that my usual handwriting is cursive and no one can understand it, I've been able to develop a talent for writing in different fonts and styles. But one day, one of my friends saw me faking a letter and asked about it. Because we were close, I told her the truth and she asked me to do one for her. I did, and we both got out of PE eventually. Word spread around my year group that this was something I could do. And so some people would come and ask me for help. To the point where I had rules: come prepared with a viable excuse. Come with an example of your parents' handwriting as signature. Gross me up, and I lie. I'm very good at it thanks to a life with narcissistic and emotionally unavailable parents, and my older sister's goody two-shoes reputation passed down to me too. Who are the teachers going to believe? The well-behaved, heavily bullied younger sister of a straight-A student, or a kid who barely does their homework and has a record of detentions for misbehavior? The third one never would have happened anyway, given that my secondary school was in a working-class neighborhood in the UK. And you learn from a young age that no one likes a telltale, and so I developed a small business. Every lunchtime, break time, or periods before class, I would charge 5 OP per letter and forge my classmates' parents' signatures to help them get out of class. I would use that money to buy myself snacks at school, or at the bakery or convenience store down the street after school. The teachers never confronted me about this. My mom, 15 years later, still has no idea. Well, why did you stop? I hear you ask. Well, it did end up becoming too risky. Someone from a different year group who had a sibling in my sister's year found out what I was doing, and I didn't want the heat. So I only did it for me and my best friend again, and I kept it on the DL.